ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, be you Clydeside, Stateside, or worldwide. It's time to rise up, chalk up them pipes, because the Scottish Falcons show is back, and a very special episode, as we promised you, for episode 40 now. I am joined by someone who should be familiar to the entire Atlanta fan base, because he should be royalty at this point, and he's got the championship belt to show for it. We're hoping he'll become a frequent flyer, so we're hoping this will be the first of many appearances that he makes on the show. But joining us tonight to break down what it means to be a Falcons fan, the highest of the highs, the lowest of the lows, and also to break down a little bit of the wide receiver position. Sort of who could address that need? My very good brother, Carolina's own, Vinny the Falconator. How are you, brother? It's so good to have you on finally. You're a hard man to pin down because I know you're normally at the games, but thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to a good show. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everything.
No, not at all. As I say, Dynamo Des and I know some talent when we see it. And as I say, you've been repping our Birds for the longest time, as you say, from '99. So before we get into anything, as I say, I'm just going to shout out the guys in the chat. One of our Celtic brothers there, Floyd Donnelly. We are ready now, and as I say, you put that on at 8:33, and we didn't get going until 9. So as I say, they're in showing love in the building before we are. So that's always good to see. So rise up, Floyd. Good to see you, brother. And as I said to you guys in the chat, we promised that we keep the all-star guests coming, and to that we hold. And there you go, Miss Sonia dropping some red and black, so you love to see that. As I say, we wanted to make sure that you had a nice welcome, so you always love to see that, don't you, Vinny? So yeah, like first topic that I wanted to cover with you, just obviously while we're on the subject of everything, we do have a double debut tonight, but I won't spoil too much before it happens. But yeah, we're going to open things up with pulling up the couch and going into a little bit shall we call it a therapy session? So I'll let you take the mic first, Vinny, and just kind of just tell me a little bit about like some of your memories, as I say, from back from '99 all the way through. Some of the things you've experienced as a Falcons fan, and what made you choose this team.
All right. Yeah. Well, actually, it's been since '89. So we'll go even 10 years further. So I'm originally from New York. Yeah. No problem at all. Originally, I'm from New York. I was born in New York, and I moved to the Carolinas in '86. And when I got to North Carolina, I didn't really play football much or follow football until I moved there. Played baseball, played hockey up in the north. So I still follow the Mets and the Islanders. Also two therapy needed teams because they're not doing too good either. However, the Panthers, they weren't in existence in Carolina till '96. So the home team was either going to be Washington, back then called the Redskins, Washington Redskins, or the Atlanta Falcons. And I chose the Falcons back in '89. You know, they were the glitzy, glamoury team with Andre Rison, Deion Sanders. You had all the celebrities on the sidelines, Evander Holyfield, MC Hammer. They would all be there. And so that was the hip team to be with. So that's the one I jumped on and followed. And when the Panthers came into town, a lot of people jumped ship, but I stayed strong and have suffered through the last 20-25 years of making that happen. But so,
I mean, that must bring its own level of pain. Talk to me a little bit about that, being a Falcons fan in Carolina, because I mean, it's not been too good. We've not looked too good against them Cats this year. Let's be honest. So yeah, there must have been some painful nights. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, this year, especially, well, there's been a lot of years of painful, but this year's been extra rough. I do have, a lot of acquaintances and friends who are Carolina Panthers, obviously living here, including some family members. And so when they get us, I get the brunt of the crap talk, shit talk, as you want to call it. So that's why I'm kind of torn between who I want to see win this NFC South, but it's going to be tough. But we'll have to just wait and see what happens.
Yeah,
We can
like
help
that's
people.
Des and I were having a laugh on one of the previous shows. We said that's the hardest question you can ask because it was the Saints Bucks game, and I went, but do you cheer for an Aints win here to stop the Bucks momentum? And he went, I can never cheer for the Aints, man. I can't do it. It's like
Right.
one of the only thing you'll never do as a Falcons fan is cheer for a Falcons loss or an Aints
Sure.
win. So at least we're diehard in that. So you got to give us that. Shout out to Tony Hall down in the chat as well. Good to see you, brother. And also a shout out. I don't know if he's tuned in to us yet, but and this one goes out to Southside Ricky because it was him that suggested that we go into the receivers. So we are going to go deep. I have a whole page of notes. I showed it to Vinny before the show, so we are going to go in deep on receivers. So yeah, we're going to keep you company for the next wee while and really break it down for you. And while we're on the subject of this season, good question from Sonia, or a good comment, I should say. But let's get your thoughts on that one, Vinny. She says that Raheem needs to hurry up and take the red and black off. Now, I'd agree. I feel like there's a lot this season that I've not been too happy with. He's lack of adjustment. He's not being forthright with what the problems are. He's just saying, we need to be better, we need to be better, we need to be better. And I mean, if I'm a player, it's no wonder I've checked out at this point. We've seen what Drake London was saying, what Ray McLeod has said since he left. And I mean, how do you feel? Do you feel like end of the season it's time to kind of cut ties? And if so, who are you looking at as sort of your potentials for the next head coach?
It's kind of a tough one. I think I mean, if you'd asked me that a couple weeks ago, I was pretty much on his head on a platter. I mean, I just think that his poor decision making is it's pretty obvious. And it's not just him, granted. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Zach Robinson and what he's done with our offense.
Mm-hmm.
I just sometimes just feel he's just not all the way into it. He's kind of just nonchalant. And I really do think that we're definitely gonna go through an offensive coordinator change. That's for sure. It just really depends on what we do with these last 3 games, as if I don't know if he's fighting for his job or if he's fighting for pride or if it's more so the players. So it's just really up in the air right now as far as with him. I guess it really depends on front office and management too, whether we keep Fontenot, see what we do with him. But I really think Arthur. I think he likes Raheem. But in the end, I mean, business is business. He really's got to end some ties with being friends and get rid of some of that dead weight we have. And I think Raheem might be some of it. I think Rich McKay is a big factor that he's not really supposed to be involved in football relations right now, but I think he still is.
McKay.
Yeah.
That speaks a lot when you mention Rich McKay, because I mean he said he wasn't involved in the day-to-day football operations, but yeah, he goes to London in 24. He goes to Germany. It's like, bro, see if there's something that you're doing behind the scenes. We'd rather know, because you are at the end of the day the penultimate voice in Arthur Blank's ear. But at the end of the day, Arthur Blank's now 82 years old as well, so how high up the totem pole do you really want to look? And that's a whole nother question which we can explore a little bit down the line as well. There's a shout out from the First Lady as well. Good to see you in the building, Maggie. So yeah, as I say, AFN's going international and we're just trying to hold things down, keep the big guests coming in for the important chats. Because as I say, as a super fan, it's not been good enough this season. So I mean, that's why we're here, is to kind of talk about what needs to change and get the real voices from not just from Atlanta, from all over the States and all around the world as well, because we're still grinding. So I can't put it across to you in German. My Deutsch is rusty, but we are opening ties to the German guys as well. So hopefully Alexandros and the boys will be interested in coming on for a chat as well in the future. So if that's something you like the sound of, then by all means drop us some more red and blacks, because we love to see that. We always love to see that. But yeah, While we're talking about this season, what do you think are some of the biggest sort of what's holding us back, so to speak, from being the franchise that we look to be on paper? Because for me, as I say, it's been clock management, too many silly penalties, obviously the injury bug, but I wouldn't say that that's too much of an excuse that we can rely on, because look around the league, everybody's banged up, everybody's hurt. So I feel like at a certain point that stops being an excuse. But yeah, I'll pass it to you, Vinny. How do you feel about what's been our limitations this season, outside of the obvious with coaching and things like that? Like on paper, with the roster that we have, we should be a lot better than 5-9. As I say, look at the way in which we lost some of those close games and overtime and things like that. So how are you feeling? What do we need to do to get better as a team here and start getting turning some of these losses into wins?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, we've had some tough losses. We talked about it a little earlier, and I mean, there was a lot of games that we definitely should have won. Opening game when we blew it against Tampa, and with games, the Colts game and international game with the Colts, when we blew that, and just easier games that we thought we had. Miami, I think we took Carolina a little too lightly, and they came and just blew us out. I think that we talked about coaching, and just some poor clock management, poor play calling, but also I think and we're going to talk about that, our wide receiver depth. I think we really realized that we didn't have much of anything. Still uncertain even over here. I mean, I'm pretty close with the team and the organization, and but I'm still not sure about what happened with Ray McLeod, and but I'm gonna put you on hold for 1 second. I do apologize. 1 second.
Yeah, not a problem.
What up, man?
Well, yeah, as I say, while we're on the subject, Vinny makes a good point here. It's not just about the coaching; it is about kind of what you're doing on the field. The wide receiver depth has or the lack of depth has really showed, because guys like David Sills are not in there. A big question that I would ask and pass it back to you, Vinny, when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Obviously, why is Nick Nash not been elevated, given that he is the Triple Crown winner from the FBS level? So I feel like that's someone that I saw flashes of doing well in preseason. Des and I both mentioned him, and also Chris Blair. We felt like he could have been more of a factor instead of guys like Sills and Drummond, respectively. Although these guys have at times made their contributions. I mean, that catch that David Sills made, that was pretty. That was real pretty. But I mean, it's too few and far between, is what I'm trying to say. If he was doing that consistently, then maybe this would be a different conversation. But yeah, definitely wide receiver depth.
Yeah,
and when we depth as a whole. I mean, look around the team. I mean, assuming we have got 5 picks in this draft and we use all 5, if I'm the head coach, I'm thinking another receiver, IDL nose tackle, probably another corner. After that, maybe interior O-line, some guard depth, someone who's tackle flexible, though, one of those bigger guards, because my worry isn't about Ryan Nuzzel. He's proven that he's really, really good in the centre spot. So I'm looking for just depth, offensive line wise. And that's kind of where I'm at, because the backups in a lot of cases aren't the best. And I mean, we're going to lose some of these guys as well through the off-season process. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. How are you feeling about the draft? Before we get into any specifics on players or anything like that, like, do you feel like there's specific spots where you'd like to see us improve? Are you with the consensus that we need a bigger guy in the middle? Because I mean, Dorless is eating 7 sacks, but I mean, I feel like he'd be even up into the double-digit category, possibly conversation, if you've got him playing off of I'll just throw it out there. I love Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech. I feel like that kid is an absolute stud. And if you can get someone of his ilk in there, then it just means that not only is it going to free up Dorless, but also Walker and Pierce off the edges as well. So it just makes us that much more dangerous. But what are you thinking draft wise?
Yeah, I mean, draft wise, I think, I mean, a lot of people talk about upset about the whole situation with giving up our first round pick, but I really, I mean, I think James Pierce was a great pick for what we did. I mean, we basically got 2 first round picks. I mean, we did get 2 first round picks last season, and to me, I want to say the trade was worth it this year. Our defense has looked a lot better, and we've definitely filled some gaps that we needed. I mean, they're just playing, I think, phenomenal. I mean, we do have some, of course, some holes, but I think they're playing great. It sucks that we gave it to the Rams, and they may be Super Bowl contenders and have a top 10 pick. However, and I really think, honestly, with us, we're talking with some friends the other day, with us playing the Rams, next week, a lot, with them probably having it locked up. A lot of times I think that they would hit some people and it would be a more competitive game for us. But in all reality, they're fighting for a better pick. So, I mean, they may bring it. They may come to Monday night and bring it just so they can have a higher pick. Because if they win, that's going to put them more up towards the top. So don't slack on them about it possibly being a walkthrough game with everybody sitting. I think they're really going to come and play hard for that purpose. We definitely need wide receivers. I
think it's going to be a tough game. I
feel
like out of the 3 games we have left, that's definitely going to be the biggest ask, so to speak. And what worries me about the whole playoff situation is that I feel like in a lot of ways the Rams, they're great at staying healthy down the slide, so I don't feel like they've got much reason to. I mean, they're not missing many big name guys. Hooker's ready to go as well, so it does make me just kind of a little bit worried that they're coming all out, all guns blazing, to try and get that. Because I mean, but with that being said, I mean, having looked at the draft class and the way it's breaking down, what teams they're going to be in what positions and so on and so forth. What it's looking like to me is that a lot of guys are going to slide. According to my latest mock draft, I mean, one of the guys, I'm not going to spoil anything from later on in the show, but I did get Lee Hunter, IDL second round. I got back in it at round 3 for my pick. And I was able to get one of the 10 guys on this list that I've got as draft receivers, who is somebody that I'm really keen on as well. So, but yeah, it's something we'll get into as well. But definitely, there's a lot of stuff that we need to do going forward as well.
I think the big thing is it really just depends on as far as free agency as well. I mean, I think we tend to a lot of times pick up a lot of name recognition players, but who are pretty much out of their prime, and because we can get them for a little bit cheaper, but it's a big name, and then we kind of get excited about it, but we realize, oh, they're not the same guy they were 5-10 years ago, 6-7 years ago. So I think we tend to do that a lot.
This is one thing I wanted to get an idea. I wanted to throw into the wind and kind of flirt out there. But a shout out again to the chat. Auntie Pam's down there. No Des tonight. He's travelling back home from Portugal tonight. So we won't see Des back until Saturday. But as I say, we always do a Thursday show. And as I say, we like to get the guests on if we can. So I appreciate Vinny for joining us tonight. And as Maggie says, if you're watching, share it out, let the people know. As I say, Scottish Falcons are taking this thing global. It's only going to get bigger. So as I say, you want to be along for the journey for this one, because there's more to come than just football. I can tell you that. And that's something that Vinny and I are going to talk about a little bit in the back after we're done. And something you'll hear me talking about on the real spill a little later on as well. So just a little bit of shameless plug in there while I've got the mic. but why not? But yeah, moving forward, as I say, let's get into the draft and the free agency. So there's an interesting group, and once again, thank you to Southside Ricky for suggesting this. So what I'll do is I'll go through my notes here. Stop me if you hear anything you like, but what I did now, I'm going to take out the number one receiver, essentially because I don't feel like we can afford him. At an AAV of $18 million last season, and that would be T. Higgins from Cincinnati. Taking him off the board, I said, right, so what am I setting for a maximum here? And I said, right, $12 million a year is what I'm looking at. So for $12 million or under, you could get Jacoby Myers from Las Vegas, Diami Brown out of Jacksonville, Hollywood Brown out of Kansas City, and there's a controversial one, so I may get some hate down in the comments for that, but I feel like he's 28, he's still got something left in the tank. Same with Juwan Jennings out of San Francisco. I've got Zay Jones out of Arizona. He's on the older side now, 30 years old. I've got Alan Lazard as well, who comes with an asterisk because New York's just released him. So it might be even easier to get because we wouldn't have to give up any capital to get him in now. That would just be essentially, and you come, lad. So he's now in the mix. And Wan'Dale Robinson from the New York Giants. So a lot of guys, as I say, Wan'Dale Robinson's only 24 years old. And the other guy that I've got free agency wise is also 24, but I feel like he's going to want paid more than Dallas gave him. And that would be George Pickens.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my list. So is there any names there that are standing out to you? And if so, why?
I mean, yeah, there's a few. I'm looking at it right now as well while you're going through that as far as a value. As far as Pickens, I think yeah, I mean he's pretty low as of now, but he's definitely gonna require a little bit, probably more than we have. And it really just depends. I mean, where we're at with salary cap too. The numbers you're giving are good, but I mean, what are we going to do with Cousins? Are we going to cut him before the first? Are we going to cut him after? Are we going to cut him at all? And you know, we've got a lot of other guys. You know, I mean, what are we going to do with Pitts? Because I mean, he's coming up, and I mean, is he playing for the team? Is he playing for a showcase to try and get some more money from another team?
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't definitely been. I was in Cleveland when he got drafted, and he definitely hasn't been the tight end superstar that we envisioned. But is that our fault? Is that because of what we've done or what we've had to provide for him? I mean, he's gone through several quarterbacks. He's gone through several offensive coordinators. He's never really had a stable coaching staff or team. So I mean, he played great, of course, in Tampa Bay, but I mean, it was we had nothing. We had no one else to rely on but him, and he really did step up. So what are we going to do with him? So we've got a lot. We've got a lot to do, a lot to go with. And yeah, it just really depends on the cap. We're pretty strapped. I mean, Terry's done a great job, I think, in the last couple of years, putting this team together. Like you said, it looks great on paper. We've got to do it, and we have got to figure out whether that hole is in coaching, is in front office, or in the players in the locker room. But there's some definite. Like I said, I'm looking at the list now, and some of the names that you've thrown out that I think we might be able to grab up. But I just really Wan'Dale Robinson. He's caught my eye on that. Like I said, he's only 24. He may be relatively cheap to grab, and it just really depends. I mean, Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix, their styles and their play is so different. So I mean, I really think they need to know with what they're going with and match those receivers up with that quarterback. I'm not quite sure if Penix is going to be out anymore into next season with the injury. We don't know what that is. Are we getting rid of Cousins and picking somebody else up? So everything's in the air right now as far as what we need to do. I just hope that we do some good matchups and not go for a cloudy name to sell some jerseys. Or someone say, "Oh, I know who that guy is," but just pick the right guy who's the right fit for the team to win. So that's what I hope. So,
and that's why I'm kind of put off of guys like Alan Lazard comes with an AAV of 11 million, same with Jacoby Myers, and that's why I'm out with guys like that. But some of the sort of middle-aged receivers, I'm looking at the sort of 27, 20 age gap, age range, I should say. Hollywood Brown, 7 million. I'm going back to Juwan Jennings again. I mean, that's that's just shy of $6 million, 28 years old, coming from the offense they run in San Fran. We faced it this season, so I mean, he's not going to be any stranger to the style of offense that we're going to be running. And as I say, at 28, he doesn't have to be this young guy because we've got Drake there. So he could be a solid option at number 2. But again, it depends who you want to pay, how much that's going to cost as well. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting sort of situation. And then you add into the fact that we're strapped for cash. One thing that I'm interested in, and it goes back to Kyle Pitts as well. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Are you paying him first off? I'll get your answer to that first because I've got a caveat for you after you let me know.
I mean, from what I've seen, like I said, I mean, I think he's got great potential. I mean, he was amazing in college. He's going to want a lot. I don't see paying him for for the production that he's given us in the last 5 years, 4 years, however long it's been. I just can't see putting ourselves in the red that much. And I mean, like I said, the other game, he had that breakout game. It was great. I was there, and it was amazing. And I wish him the best. Maybe these next 3 games he'll show out too. But I mean, what's he going to want? I mean, he still feels he's that extraordinary, that player. But if he's seeking some crazy max deal, then yeah, I think we would just have to let him go. So
yeah, like if he's willing to take a team friendly deal, then I would be willing to explore it because I'm pretty sure it was Des that let me know the salary cap, not the salary cap, the franchise tag rather for a tight end is 15.889 million. So just shy of 16 mil for a player of Kyle Pitts' caliber. While we are possibly shopping a trade, I would probably tag him at this point. And it's good to see you down in the chat, Ricky, because we are doing what you asked. Tonight we're getting into the receiver position. So we've just finished covering some of the free agents and things like that. But this is the thing that I wanted to go back on because it's something that I keep hearing and have done for the last 4 years, as you say. Kyle Pitts was drafted that high because he was never supposed to be a tight end, but he's never had the proper offensive coordinator to make him that switch, to make him that more sort of Julio or Calvin Johnson sort of guy. And that's another reason why I would say tag him, because if we can get the right OC in place that's gonna go, nah, do you know what, you're a receiver in a 6'6" body, you're not a tight end. He doesn't block like a tight end.
No,
and that's one of my big caveats with him. He's a huge receiver, so if he can just get a bit more body control, he could be the next generation of Calvin Johnson, quite possibly.
Yeah,
as I say, but you need to get that OC in place first, that passing game adjusted, and obviously find out who's going to be slinging the rock to boot. So it's maybe redundant to be talking about who's catching the ball, but as I say, it's just it's one thing that's been a big caveat to this season is not doing well when the ball's in the air. So yeah, let's take a look at some of these young guys now from the draft class, and I've kind of singled out some of the guys that I think are more interesting than others for various reasons, but I may have found your unicorn. Nick Harbour out of South Carolina, 6'5", 235 pounds, and he's a 4.24. on the 40-yard dash there. So just an insanely explosive speed athlete. I think he's going to go first round. So realistically, I don't think we're in the conversation for him. But this is where a string of guys come where I start to get really interested. They're all sort of in this mold, sort of 6'3", 6'4", 215 to 220 pounds. Ian Strong from Rutgers and Chase Roberts out of BYU in that 4'5", 4'6" range. I've also got Hakeem Williams from Colorado. He's a 4'3", 2" guy. And then who I really, really like is Isaiah Nayor out of Nebraska. 6'4", 218 pounds. A 4'4", a true 4'4" guy. And he's also very, very good in the air. Decent yak, pretty big hands as well, which you like to see. Another two guys which may not be in the conversation for, but I'm going to shout them out anyway. Casey Concepcion out of Texas A&M, 5'11", 190 pounds and a 4'4", 6". And then you've got Jacoby Lane out of USC, 6'4", 200 pounds and a 4'5". Now, a lot of people like Jacoby Lane. I feel like he has big play potential, but for me, I don't even know how to put it across. But for me, there's just something missing. I don't know if he lacks the dog in him, so to speak. But I'm not the biggest lover of Jacoby Lane, but physically he's got a lot there to like. I've also got Elijah Surratt from Indiana, 6'2", 209, another 4'6" guy, but he's going to be more of a possession. It says that he excels on things like digs, comebacks, things like that nature. So mid routes, so it's going to alleviate some of the pressure off of Michael Penix or whoever the quarterback is to have to do these deep bombs. Same can be said for Antonio Williams out of Clemson, 5'11", 190 pounds and a 4'4", 5". And then I've got Nick Anderson out of LSU, 6'4", 208, 4'5", on the 40. But with all that being said, I read today, and I've looked back and I've seen the reports that we may have our wide receiver guy. So this is who I'm going to let you talk about a few of these guys and see who you like. But looks like it might be Malachi Fields, the stud out in Notre Dame. That is 6'4", 223 pounds, and a 4'5" flat 40 guy. So not especially quick, but we've seen what he can do in Notre Dame this season. So our staff have already paid him multiple visits. So it could be Malachi Fields, but I'm willing to leave the field open for now. I mean, it's still a long ways to go till the draft. But who do you like? I mean, that's quite a long list, a lot of different guys with a lot of different skill sets.
Yes, it is a long list. I looked a lot today too when you were talking earlier that we've been discussing wide receivers. And then I was checking out Malachi, and like I said, it's not as quick, but he's powerful. And I mean, with Drake being quick, I mean, on the other side, I mean, it's not a bad idea to have both ends. It just I was looking at the wide receiver from Tennessee, Chris Brazzell. He's lost him. He's he looked pretty good. He's got that height, just like Pitts. And I know Pitts is a tight end, but like you said, we really hadn't utilized Pitts the way that we intended to and wanted to. And I really think that was just because of the lack of coaching and just the turnaround that we've had on coaching. But going back to Chris Brazzell out of Tennessee, I'm kind of liking him. And I did check out Jacoby Lane quite a bit. He's also what you said, 6'4", 200 pounds. Yep. He's got a I think around 4'6", 40, something like that.
4'5", 4'6" around there. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, there are definitely quite a few options that we have. But like you said, it is still super early, and I guess it really just depends on if do you feel that that's going to be our top? Are we getting a wide receiver in the second round? Is that what we're getting? So we can look at these top guys, but if we're not going to look until the third or fourth round, then most of these guys are going to be off the board anyway.
Yeah, what it really boils down to for me is it's one or two positions. Are we going to shore up the front seven and get that big body, or are we going to get a true number two? For me, I think Dorless is doing well enough to where I would go wide receiver first. I think right now, if you ask me that in a few weeks, I might give you a different answer. But at least right now, I think I'm going wide receiver round two.
Right. So we saw that what Kyle did when they finally really used him as a pretty legit, I would say a legit wide receiver on Thursday. He was all over the place, So he was finally being utilized as to what he has the potential to do. So maybe if they see that and they decide to tag him, they'll move him over a little bit or just utilize that a lot more, because with Mooney going down and Ray, whatever happened with him, we definitely see that we don't have a wide receiver two at all. So Drake's finally coming around, and he was great, and he's proved to be that wide receiver one. He just had that great connection with Penix, and we didn't get to really see it with Kirk. But I think he's definitely our wide receiver one for sure. And we have 100%. He's
definitely in the mix. I've my mum's let the cat out of the bag. But basically she's given me the money to get a jersey with Christmas to wear on the shows and stuff. She's like, get yourself a new jersey. So he's definitely in the mix. So one of the guys I want to get. I love Drake. He's fantastic, and shout out because he's back at practice. So he should hopefully, fingers crossed, be good to go. But we'll break that down on Saturday for you when Des is back. Hopefully, when we get the injury report, it's nothing too concerning. Because that's another thing that I feel it's been one of the biggest issues this season is the injuries pertaining to the offensive line. We've been banged up, and obviously, Elijah is a personal friend of yours, Elijah Wilkinson. How have you spoken to him recently? How's he been adjusting? Because I know I don't know if he's naturally a swing tackle, and now he's been playing mainly on the right side, but obviously he's had, as the rest of the team have this season, he's had these ups and downs. But as I said, have you had a chance to chat to the big guy yet?
No, we actually met Elijah in Cincinnati a few years back. Him and his family, and then he left for a little bit and came back. But I spoke with him on Thursday, but it was just on field. It was nothing on a personal level or as far as getting deeply involved in how he was feeling and how he was doing as far as the transition. But he seems to be doing well. He's doing his role. He's doing his role. So
I sent you that photo. Jake Matthews, to his credit, has been doing it a long time at a high level, and there's not much difference. He's getting there. He's getting there with it. I feel like it's going to take more time, and it's how much time do you want to invest? But yeah, he'll get there. He's certainly got the size and the length, the long arms that you want for a tackle. The pressure obviously is extra, being when you're playing with a lefty, being the blind side. But obviously, essentially, Coach Heem says that the way we run our offense, the blind side doesn't matter so much. But right now, in a lot of ways, I wouldn't believe Raheem if he said the sky was blue.
Right.
But yeah,
no, it's a big difference. Yeah, it's a bit. I played offensive tackle in school, and I was left. So I was mostly blindside. So it's a big adjustment when that's not something you're used to, and then you got they throw in the left-handed quarterback, and all of a sudden your roles change dramatically. So I mean it's a huge difference from one side to the other when you're working with that. So, but I think he's doing well. I think I mean we definitely have some holes in our offense of line. Not really holes, but I think we have some improvements to make. So it's like you said, I don't know if we go for that in the first. In the second, I really think we do need to go look for a solid receiver, a solid young receiver to join the rest. A lot of fans have kind of given the team hell the last couple of years just because we've on offense, and and especially a lot of the Georgia fans when we have so much great talent on the defense in Georgia, and we just let them slide all the time. So we get a lot of hell from that, picking Pitts and then going with Robinson and then going with Penix but we've definitely worked on
Philadelphia's just stockpiling Bulldogs over there.
Yeah. We've definitely
and we wonder why they're in Super Bowl contention. It should be pretty obvious. But there's a few people down in the chat showing you some love as well, Vinny. Auntie Pam's saying hi. And have you two bumped into each other at one of the games yet?
Yeah, Pam's she's a huge supporter. Called Aunt Pam. This is Aunt Pam. How you doing? She's the games
as I say, she's a diehard. She really is. Never stops shouting out her stingers either, which is one thing I shared with her this season because I did mention that maybe Haynes King, is it the QB? He could be interesting to bring in. But I don't know, mate, how you feel about that. And then a shout out from John Moreno as well. What's going on, Vinny? Watching from Galveston, Texas, buddy. I'm hoping to see you all next year.
Yep, he's one of our
Rise up,
guys,
Santa.
For sure.
It's great to see that down in the chat. It just makes me think of that.
Yeah, John's a good guy.
It's good to see I have you down in the chat for the first time. Nice to meet you, John. And as I say, when you see Galveston, it just makes me think of that Glenn Campbell song. Galveston, oh Galveston, I am so afraid of dying. It's just, that takes me back. You'd never have thought that a Scottish guy was raised on country and western music, but there you are. But no, as I say, it's a lot is going to come down to who's your QB and what you kind of want to do draft wise. But yeah, it's interesting. But I mean, as I say, if we do change head coach, is it going to be Terry Fontenot's guy, or is he actually going to be allowed to pick his own guy this time? Because I feel like it goes a lot to what you were saying earlier, Vinny, about the whole sort of who's answerable to who and who is friends with who. Because I feel like as you say, I feel like Raheem's an Arthur Blank guy, and I feel like it's really Terry Fontenot's job to choose his own head coach. But that would just be my take, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think Terry's done a great job. A lot, there's mixed feelings about him, especially since, this is his 5th season, I believe. And we've not done. I think he tried his best to put together the best team possible that we have. And like I said, we look great on paper, but a lot of people think every team looks great on paper. We just haven't been able to just capitalize. But I think he's done great. He walked into pure hell that Dimitrov left him in. And for him to be able to pull out of that, a lot of people are still upset about the Kirk Cousins deal. 4 years, $180 million, gets hurt, he doesn't produce like he should have or like we thought he would have. I think Kirk's still a great guy. A lot of mixed feelings about that in the Falcons fan base. But I really like him. I think he's doing well. And there's been some hiccups. There's going to be some hiccups. You can't count on, you can never count on injuries or other teams that step up even more than we do. But I hope he sticks around. On a personal level, I just think Terry's a great guy. I've met him quite a few times and met his family. And definitely hope he sticks around. I think he's got a lot more to do for us and to help us out with it. But at the end of the day, it's I don't write his check. I don't sign his check, so it's up to somebody else.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the money man. It's some big scary decisions coming. That's all I can say. And I don't get many complaints, but apparently Lily's not letting me work tonight. I need to work, baby. Cats and dogs and goodness knows what when you're trying to stream. I agree with you, John. John's shouting out Kubiak as the next coach. I mean, what his offense was able to do to us in the Seattle game, that spoke for a lot. I like Kubiak a lot. I feel like there's a lot that he brings to the table. I feel like he's an incredibly skilled coach. He'd probably be pretty close to the top of my list. I wouldn't mind Mike Tomlin, but I know he's more of a defensive guy, so I would pair him with trying to bring in an OC who knows what he's doing. I feel like, but Kubiak's kind of got it all down. But who are you going with in terms of like if you're restocking? If you could pick a name for head coach? Who would it be? Are you going Kubiak too, or are you going to mix it up a little?
I mean, I like both names that were thrown out there. I think as far as I guess production performance, Kubiak I think would be a good choice. Mike Tomlin, of course, too. As far as production, Mike Tomlin's a great coach, probably one of the best to ever do it, in my opinion. And but if you're, and I hope they don't do that, as far as just to sell seats, because if they brought in Mike Tomlin, I mean, Atlanta would be on fire. I mean, the fan base would just jump because Mike Tomlin was there, because of his stature, because of his of what he can bring, and it would definitely sell seats. But would it win playoff games? See, I'm more about playoff games, but like you said, I'm not. In the bottom line, it's a business, and they need to make some money. And so you do need to have the names on the back of those jerseys to sell. You do need to have those coaches that are familiar for people to come into the stands. Atlanta is a very fair weather fan base, Falcons. So when we're winning, the stadium is full and on fire. But if you start to lose, we are quick to give up and watch it on TV, if even that.
Yeah.
So we've got to win.
That's one thing that like Des and I have tried to make that a kind of a point across the last 40 episodes, which is just a crazy number to be able to say that we've reached this, that you haven't killed us yet. But no, we keep grinding, and it's like it boggles our mind, because if we're going to make it all the way over to Atlanta, the idea of leaving before the end of the game is just baffling to us. Like, obviously, we can understand if you're season ticket holders or you've been doing this for years and years and years, but like, shout out to the guys from like the Rise Up Tour fan club and stuff like that, because they are real, like the real diehards too, and they're always there like yourself, and just win, lose or draw, and that's the attitude we love, because like, as I say, we're living vicariously through you guys, because we don't get the chance to go over too often. So
the energy that the Rise Up Tour group brings, especially at away games, which was what it was designed for, is just great for just to get fans there to come together. The things that they do prior to the game, after the game, like I said, we do that. You stay to 00s. You're there. You're there early. You're there to talk to the players, to show them support before the game, after the game, when the game is over, even after the game, when you go to the buses, and the players are there to meet family and some of the few fans who know about the behind the scene buses kind of thing, just to show your appreciation, to let them know, win or lose, that you're there, you support them, you love them. And so it's a great group to for them to do that and show their support, not just at home where it's a bus ride or a train ride away, but thousands of miles, and just to know that, hey, we're here for you. So and I really do think
literally
that
those guys were in Germany, and I was like, that's insane. Like the dedication, and I know that's what Auntie Pam's like as well. She's like, if I can make it, I'll be there, and we love to see that. But another shout out to John. He's saying that we could talk a little bit about QB. He's suggesting Anthony Richardson, Russell Wilson. I've heard even Joe Burrow speculated. Now, I teased the guys in the group chat. I sent a photo of him wearing an Atlanta jersey, smoking a cigar, and I went, that might be nice. Fancy sharing a cigar with our new QB, but like he's put it across as he doesn't see a world where he ends up out of Cincinnati. Realistically, I don't either, but QBs that I'm thinking about right now, I would need to really delve the way I've just done with receivers to give you real draft names outside of the first round. But if you're talking free agents, I like Trey Lance. I don't feel like his race is run quite yet. I feel like, as I say, he's got an advantage of playing in systems that are similar to ours in San Fran when he first came into the league. Not so much in Dallas, but we all know Dallas is a disaster anyway. So let's not talk about his time as a Cowboy, because I'm sure he won't want to.
Right.
But no, I'm not. I reckon he's not a bad bridge, and it would mean not giving up a draft pick on one. Who stands out to you in terms of free agency when you're talking about the QB position? If you had to go down that route,
I'm pulling up now just to see. And like I said, it really just depends again on our financial situation.
Like as we say, John, like we promised to go on for an hour or an hour and a half, and to be honest, none of this might matter in a couple of weeks because it all depends what's spent and where. So as I say, we don't mind being wrong. Some of this stuff won't age well, but we're just throwing it all out there for you guys as better informed, as best, well armed as well warned, or something like that. You know what they say.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, because you got Daniel Jones coming out. And you mentioned Wilson, Mariota. We've already tried that. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
So
let's not do that.
Flacco. No, definitely not. Flacco, Lance, as you had mentioned. I mean, it's slim pickings kind of, as far as who's due out for free agency or whatnot. Daniel Jones, I guess, would be your top QB, but I mean, he's gonna demand quite a bit of cash.
Mm-hmm.
I would think.
I feel like Russell Wilson is interesting, and I would feel better about the name Russell Wilson had it not been for A, his tenure in New York, and B, how much we've just suffered to pay an older veteran QB. And that's what's drawn me off. Do I feel like Russell Wilson can still play? Yes, I do. Do I feel like it's a more sound investment bringing Russell Wilson and then picking up the phone and calling Cam Newton? Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Like, with all due respect to Cam, I feel like he had more right to come back and play than Rivers ever did. But I digress. We're talking about the Falcons here. Russell Wilson, for the time that we would have him, would be a great mentor if we don't have Kirk. So that's for the money. I'll throw that spanner in there. But for the money, Russell Wilson wouldn't be too bad because the guy's still got a good arm.
Yeah, as far as I'm not quite sure as far as overseas if you're familiar with the conflict of interest with Russell Wilson and rapper Future, who's from Atlanta. So I don't know if that would clash too well in the city. He's got Russell Wilson's ex Future's ex-girlfriend is now Russell Wilson's. I don't know the gist of it either too much.
Okay.
But there's a big thing with that too. So as far as pop culture clash, so I don't know if Russell Wilson would be interested in Atlanta for that
Okay.
perspective. But
That's fair.
who
I don't
knows?
really take
Money
much to
talks.
do with modern pop culture,
Yeah,
to be honest. That's why I'm singing Glenn
right.
Campbell crap on the.
Yeah,
Like, I hadn't known
money.
by then.
Yeah,
I'm an old
but
soul.
like I said, bottom line, money talks. But I don't know. That would be that would be something for it. Would definitely be what's the word I'm looking? It's an easy word I'm looking for, but it definitely would be a distraction for sure, huge distraction. So if that was to take place,
I now you put it like that, that's fair. And here's something, guys. Think about if they hire Kubiak, he will bring in his brothers and will have his father on his side. That will be an awesome coaching staff. That is interesting. I hadn't even thought about that, John, but now that you put it like that, it's something else to think about and another point to his favour. But as I say, we were talking about a coaching tree with the whole Shanahan system earlier on in the season and how we felt like we got the weakest branch in Raheem, so to speak. But
agree. I can agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, look at the rest of the guys and look at the guys we've turned down and their success. So I mean, but yeah, now that you're talking about actually having the Kubiak sort of family involved, that's I like the way you think, mate. I really do. And I've seen another one there. What about Southside Ricky saying, what about Will Levis? That's interesting as well. I'm not against
He
it.
showed. No,
He's young.
I mean
He's got a decent
he has.
arm.
Yeah, he handled himself really well against us the last time we played Tennessee, a couple years back, two years ago. We made him look like a Pro Bowler for sure. That was his first game out too, I believe, and he just he ran right through us. So yeah,
like if the O-line can get healthy, Will Levis, that's not a bad shout either. And he's still pretty young, so if Michael Penix is needing more time, then he's got like we've got more than enough weapons on this offense to where, especially if we get a receiver round 2, we can give a young QB the keys. I mean, we were ready to let Mike go this season, and we have been until obviously the knee went. So I mean, there's no reason why we can't essentially just reset and just plug and play. Hopefully, it's a system where Will Levis can excel, because his play style is not dissimilar in some ways to the way Michael Penix would run a game. So I feel like it's definitely interesting, and
I mean, if Michael Penix,
Dan Reeves tree,
if Michael Penix is our guy, and I believe he is, I believe they're gonna push to make him our guy. Then if he's still uncertain for the beginning of next year, I don't know what his progress is or his recovery. I don't think we should tie ourselves into someone too big. Maybe just someone to hold their own and get us a few wins if it's just going to be out a couple of weeks. But I don't think we should tie ourselves up into some long, lengthy, expensive contract with someone that we're not going to use like we did Cousins. So it's just I hope we don't go into that same mistake.
That's what I'm worried about, and that's why when you said Will Levis there, I went, that's interesting, because I know for a fact Russell Wilson's going to want to make that dollar. I know that's why he went to the Giants as well, because he wanted to go to a team that had some sort of mystique or I don't quite know the word, but there are certain teams, Chargers, Giants, Raiders, that carry a certain swag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why he went to New York, but like, it's bad QB wise when people are going, bring Jameis Winston in. I don't like. We see enough memes as Falcons fans. Do you guys really want to invite any more by having Jameis Winston as your quarterback? Because I don't. Like, I stay up late enough, I work hard enough, and I put enough into this, enough blood, sweat, and tears without suffering that. So please, for my own mental well-being, stop with the Jameis Winston talk. I beg of you. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for Jameis Winston to hang it up on the football and just pick up the mic. I love his commentary. He's funny. He's a real charismatic
Yeah,
guy. But yeah, I'm ready for him to do that. Yeah, definitely not ready for him to head to Atlanta for sure. Definitely not.
yeah. That's it. Like that, I think you made the call there. If we have to make the call to bring Matty Ice back, do that and let Jameis take his place in the CBS booth. You called
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's like I've seen people on Twitter throwing some crazy narratives out there, like Michael Vick's 45. I reckon he can still get it done, and it's like, stop. Like,
Right.
come on.
Right.
Like, I
Yeah.
think Michael Vick would tell. Well, maybe he wouldn't, but I'm sure part of Mike Vick would still want to get out there and play. But nah, like it's time for a new system, and I'm speaking from top down. So for I want to speak for the heart, and it may obviously, if there's anyone down there who's an Arthur Blank lover or a big Arthur Blank fan, I get it. I understand completely his contributions to the club, to the city of Atlanta, to the education system in the metropolitan area. But the man is 82 years old and he's spread between so many different projects with the women's basketball, the men's basketball, the soccer, the World Cup now coming to get games to the Bens and all this. He's trying to get championships with everything. He's doing too much, and I feel like it would be time for him to almost step down in a way or certainly start winding down as he has been. But I feel like that process needs to be expedited a little bit. I feel like it's starting to hurt us. Would you agree with that, Vinny? Just a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I can definitely see that he does have his hands in a lot of into a lot of things in the city of Atlanta, like you said, with sports and education, medical. It has opened up the new children's hospital there,
Mm-hmm.
and he's great. He is a great guy for the community, for the city. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him step back just a little bit and allowing some more. I'm not saying he's not Jerry Jones by all means. I mean, he's not a complete dictator of the entire organization. But I do feel that it may be better for him to I guess get ready to find a predecessor or to see what's next. I'm not quite
Mm-hmm.
sure if that's in the works or when it will be. But like I said, he is 82. He's a great guy, great ambassador for the city. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt my feelings for him to let go a little bit and see where we can go, what we can do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's it may just be something that sparks a bit of a renaissance because if I feel like if Terry Fontenot takes over with the right sort of guys in place, Josh Blank and whoever comes along, assuming it is the next generation that move up. I'm looking at this comment here from John. What about Baltimore's backup QB for a short time? I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I was looking at Gardner Minshew for a point because I feel like he wouldn't be the worst option if we're looking at backups just to service for a time. Yeah, it depends. Like if you've got to give something up and you're talking minimal, like I'm not prepared to give up more than a sixth. Because I feel like we need the draft picks for what we've got, having taken James Pierce Jr. So again, it's a lot of it's going to come into fruition in the next few months. There's only so much we can do but speculate, I suppose. But no, I kind of see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think he's talking
it's an
Tyler
interesting place to
Huntley.
be in, but we
Tyler
do
Huntley, I
need
think he said.
somebody. Yeah, like as he says, the big thing is going to be having the talent to guide them as well. Because Zach Robinson, how do I put this politely? Or I mean, we did put the parental advisory, so I guess I don't have to be polite, but we'll keep it PG-13 at least. He sucks.
There you go. He's just not. Yeah, he's not. He's not the guy. He's not the guy.
No, definitely not. And we'll kind of we'll keep it at that. But yeah, that's a good point to leave off on, I guess, John. Like, this is what we need in terms of the whole adjustment. Like, we've sat and broke down receivers for a half an hour for you. We've broke down the history of obviously where we've been in the last 60 years. And believe you me, Des and I, when we started this show, we said it's the Super Bowl 60 this year. It's the 60th anniversary of the Falcons. It's the first year of the Scottish Falcons. How good would it be to get a ring? Sadly, it's not quite worked out that way, but
yeah.
At least I can't promise you it's going to be a short ride to the ring, but I can promise you that we'll all be here when we get there. And I mean, that's the beautiful part about it, and Vinny, is just that we know we're going to be there to see them get that Lombardi trophy when it comes.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So it's like I said, it's been rough. It's been a lot of ups and downs. Unfortunately, more downs than ups. But I'm going to stick with them, and just like the rest of the Diehard guys, once you tune in here, appreciate what you guys do from overseas.
Yeah.
I think it's just great. I've gotten to meet a lot of international fans throughout the last couple of years, and just the dedication and passion you guys have for them is great. I mean, even though you don't get to see them, you don't get to you be there and experience it as often as you'd like, but to still have that commitment that a lot of people don't have here, who just live down the street and have a lot more accessibility to it. But we appreciate you guys for sure. 100%.
We appreciate you guys right back. As I say, keep the pictures coming in the group chats and all that good stuff, because as I say, it's me and Desi's we kind of our chance to live vicariously, as I say, and don't will that into existence, Southside Ricky, because if you start talking about Desmond Ridder, I'm going to fall out of you. Like, seriously, you're going to lose a friend. You can talk to Des all night long about bringing Desmond Ridder back, but that's where you lose me, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
and tonight it's my show, damn it.
There you go.
Nah,
I remember
we all due respect, Ricky. We say it all, we love it. It's all in good fun. And we do, like, as I say, what I'll do is I will turn it to the crowd now, because I feel like Vinny and I have covered a lot of what we wanted to say. So at this point, it's just kind of turning it on to you. So what I would say, you remember I always preach it to you, but here at AFN and AFNI, we like to pride ourselves as being the voice of all the fans, as Vinny says, around the clock and around the world. So if you want to be one of our frequent flyers and join the panel for some future shows, you know what to do. You can contact Maggie, you can contact myself and Des if you want to get in on the international stuff. As I say, we are trying to build contacts in England right now, Germany as well. Just really take things worldwide, as I say, with everything. So it's still a labour of love. It's still something we're grinding away on, but as I say, I just need to kind of keep it Celtic, as we say, and follow us into 2026 and beyond. And we appreciate that, Maggie. It has been a great show, and we appreciate you, Vinny, so much for coming on. Before we do, I was going to turn it back for a Q&A, but I've kind of lost the ability to bring up my pictures now. Technical will out. Give me a wee second. Do you know what? We'll run it the old-fashioned way. It's okay. But now, just before we do wind out for the night, as I say, appreciate you again so much for spending time. But if the fans and the people want to get at you, hopefully this won't be the last time, and I will speak to you for a wee few minutes in the back if you're cool to hold on. As I say, drop the red and blacks again if you enjoyed having Vinny on, because the way we did this with the wide receivers, I'm aiming to do it with a lot more positions as well. So as I say, the positions I need seem to be IDL, offensive line, cornerback. So that's something we're going to start doing in the next few weeks as well. Obviously, it's all depending on your timings, because I know you are going to be at the games. But just let me know. But in the meantime, let the people know where to find you, so they can get at you after the show.
All right. So once again, I appreciate you guys for sure letting me on. It's been great. The last couple of weeks talking with you guys and getting getting to know you. I appreciate everything. I'm gonna park right here, and you can find me on old-fashioned Facebook. Some of us old guys still do that Facebook thing, but
right there with
I'm
you.
known as yeah, Vinny Dorsey, the Falconator. You'll see my name there. Also, you can catch me on Instagram is at the 28_3 draft guy. A lot of you may remember the infamous draft pick. That's, I guess, what made me kind of famous in a sense. So you catch me on there. And those are really the only two platforms that I do. I need to get a little bit more social media activated. And I keep saying that, but I just stay so busy. I just kind of stick with those. So Vinny Dorsey, the Falconator on Facebook, and at the 28_3 draft guy on Instagram. You can catch me. So I appreciate you guys.
And
Rise
as
up,
I
rise
say,
up.
like you got one of those honourable moments. Like that's something I'd love to do. Come over and take a pic. Like when we seen that the guys from Germany done it, I was like, wow. But like that's pretty cool. That's something to aspire to. But no, as I say, thank you so much for being on again, Vinny, and to everyone down in the chat. Thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown to the Scottish Falcons and all the AFNI family through the first 40 episodes now. There's a whole lot more to come, so join the Celtic Revolution, keep it Celtic for 2026. As I say, we'll show love as always, and if I can get the pictures up, I will give that one more chance. No, sorry about that. You don't get to see the visuals tonight, but I will do it the old-fashioned way because we'll give you the tagline. You know it, I know it. Vinny, you're new to the family, but you'll get to know it in time. As Des and I always say when we close up a show, always remember that we love our ATL. And before we bid you good night, dirty birds, never forget that pain is international, but so is passion. Much love. Peace out. Thanks again, guys.